At a first glance, the recent controversy regarding musician Lil Nas X's new video for his song Montero, Call Me By Your Name, may seem to be the case of a gay artist swinging a baseball bat at a wasp nest full of homophobes and enjoying the press that comes with putting out such a contentious piece of art. Many people are aware of the scene where Lil Nas gives Satan a lap dance, but might overlook the creative symbolism and historical and religious allegories used to tell the story of a man struggling with internalized homophobia, who boldly rips his narrative from the hands of homophobes and reclaims it to empower himself as well as his LGBT viewers. In any industry, especially as one as visible as the music industry and as centered on masculinity as the hip hop industry, it is incredibly difficult to be successful as a gay black artist. Lil Nas X wasn't open about his sexuality when his record-breaking hit Old Town Road was released, but he later came out as gay as he continued to release music. Lil Nas explained that he both gained and lost fans after he came out, and although he continued to achieve a success in his career, he was met with a sudden, massive exposure to homophobia directed towards himself as someone in the public view. Despite deflecting the negativity with his casual, witty humor that he uses on Twitter, Lil Nas was deeply affected by the homophobia alongside public opinion that he would be a one-hit wonder, as well as hardships in his own personal life. During this time of reflection on his identity and sexuality, Lil Nas went to the home of his closeted partner and was hit for the inspiration that would become his second number one hit, named after the artist himself, along with a controversial accompanying music video. Laden with desperation and carefree release, the unapologetically honest and sexual song plays over a video that carries heavy themes and rhetorical tactics of all kinds, intended to give a message to LGBT fans and straight fans alike. If you think I'm going to hell for being gay, I won't just go, I'll own it, and I'll take the devil's crown. This message takes away an argument from homophobes as well as empowers gay people to be themselves without apology. Today, I will be your guide through Montero and show you how Lil Nas used ethos, pathos, and logos to deliver this message to millions of viewers. The music video in question features striking visuals, with all the characters being played by Lil Nas himself. Before the video begins, Lil Nas narrates, "In life, we hide the parts of ourselves we don't want anyone to see. We lock them away. We tell them no. We banish them. But here we don't. Welcome to Montero." Lil Nas speaks to a general audience here, using phrasing that anyone can relate to, drawing in every viewer. Montero is Lil Nas X's real first name, and with his opening narration, he establishes that this is going to be a video about his own identity. As the narration ends, the first scene begins, which further establishes ethos in the video. Lil Nas draws a vivid allusion to the story of Adam and Eve, the first religious allusion of many. As a nude Lil Nas sits below a tree in a fantastical garden, the scene is immediately recognizable to an audience familiar with Christianity. Costumed in a very androgynous way, Lil Nas seems to represent both Adam and Eve, as he is chased through the land by a serpent. Eventually, Lil Nas gives into an embrace and a kiss from the serpent, before the scene shifts to a different Nas as a prisoner. Before we move on to that scene, let's discuss the significance of retelling Adam and Eve. Throughout history, Eve has been blamed by the church for all the sins of humanity to come, because she chose knowledge over the commandment of God. Lil Nas X, in a similar way, chooses the truth of who he is over the support of conservative Christian homophobes. To any gay viewer with a history of condemnation from a place of religion, the metaphor used in the scene instantly strikes a chord. The next allusion Nas X uses is historical, and it demonstrates a use of logos within the viewer. Immediately after the Adam and Eve scene, Lil Nas X appears as a new character, a prisoner put in chains, as he grins defiantly up to a furious audience. The scene takes place in a coliseum in what appears to be inspired by ancient Greece. Lil Nas' character is about to be put to his death, but he shows no shame or fear. Instead, he shouts the lyrics to his song to the audience, which I can't repeat to a school audience, but suffice it to say, the lyrics show that Lil Nas is not ashamed of his acts of sodomy. A quote from the song also adds to the message of the scene: "A sign of the time every time that I speak." This references the way that no matter what Lil Nas says or does, homophobes will use it as an example of how society is deteriorating. In the end, Lil Nas is stoned to death, which is a very real practice that occurred to countless gay men throughout history. At the same time, however, Lil Nas' audience represents his actual audience of homophobes who were outraged at his coming out and demanded that he be silenced. Through his comparison, Lil Nas uses logos to discredit his detractors by comparing them to the murderers who are most definitely on the wrong side of history. As Lil Nas X's character dies, he begins to rise up to an angel in heaven. This establishes that although he was deemed a sinner on earth, he is in fact worthy of the paradise that others would want to deny him for being gay. Instead, however, Lil Nas does something interesting. As a pole appears beside him, he grabs on and begins to pole dance down to hell. What a statement! Around the same time, the lyric, "You live in the dark, boy, I cannot pretend," plays over the video. Living in the dark refers partially to the fact that his lover is in the closet, while Lil Nas X refuses to pretend to be something he's not. This is emphasized as he marches confidently to the throne of the devil, gives him a lap dance, and then proceeds to kill him and take his take his horns as a crown. So, what do we make of this as a viewer, other than the fact that it's gutsy and cool as hell? A lot of people come out of this video so shocked that they don't get the message or they just aren't willing to learn. However, what Lil Nas X is saying with his art is that he doesn't want the vision of heaven laid out by the type of Christians who have cruelly harassed him and others like him. He doesn't want to have to be this respectable, family-friendly gay that people demand him to be. He wants to be just as raunchy, bold, and creative as any other straight person in his industry. And if that means he's going to hell, according to some people, Lil Nas is telling his audience that he doesn't care. That argument won't work on him because he owns and embraces every part of himself, and he'll even embrace the satanic image that people project onto him. For gay viewers, however, this scene is very emotionally exciting. No gay artist has ever done something like this before to this scale, and by thoroughly breaking the idea that gay people have to be clean, socially acceptable, and straight passing to be successful, Lil Nas has set many LGBT fans free from their feelings of internalized homophobia. Despite huge backlash for this video, including churches preaching against Lil Nas X specifically, the music video has nearly 10 times more likes than dislikes, and the song reached #1 on the charts. This proves that Lil Nas X's boldness has paid off and accomplished the goal of making LGBT people feel empowered and showing everyone that gay people can be themselves and be successful.